Hey, what's up everybody? Dakota here, and I want to preface this video, I want to preface this video and say the gear doesn't really matter. It does to a point. Gear can make a good video great, or it can make a bad video better, but it will never make a bad video good or a bad video great. At the end of the day, it's about the story that you're telling and the content you're trying to share. But for me, the way that that video is shared and the quality in which it's produced is super important to me as a designer and someone that cares about all of the important details on a daily basis. It's really hard to just let that go for my channel. So I'm always kind of working on making my videos better as a creator. I think we all are really trying to do that same thing. It's just progressively get better at our craft. And so gear is one way that can help you kind of step that up, but it's not gonna, you know, if you suck, you're still gonna suck. It's just gonna look better while you suck. Just focus on your storytelling, and honestly that's something I need to do as well. But I've had a bunch of people ask me like, what gear are you using to shoot all these videos, because we love them or we hate them, and I don't really care what side you fall on, but I decided to make a video about all of my gear. So let's get into that video, and if you have any questions about my gear, go ahead and leave them in the comments and I'll answer anything that I can, and I'll leave you links in the descriptions if you want to pick up your own any of this gear. So let's get into it. All right, so the first item I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys is my first camera that I got, which was the Canon Rebel 80D, no, it was the Canon Rebel T6 was the first one I got. You're being shot on a Canon 80D now, which is my upgrade, which I love this new one. It's way better. This was my first one. I can't show you the other one because you're being shot on it now. If I could, I would. This is a great camera to get started with. If you're a vlogger, the one thing that you don't have is the LCD display screen won't flip out, so you can't see it from the front. So you're pretty blind if you're in the shot or if it gets cropped awkwardly. With the Canon 80D that you're on now, there is a flip out screen. As I mentioned in a previous video, you can't hook up a mic on the T6 because there's no mic jack, but there is on the 80D. So those are both two reasons why I love the 80D. The autofocus is way better as well. The depth of field is great. So that's that. Let's move on. Cell phone, super important. This thing, handy. It is the camera that you always have with you. So a lot of people always ask me, what's the best camera to use? And the best camera to use is the one that you have. If you don't have a camera and you can't get a shot, it's gone. But guess what? I've used stuff from my phone in my vlogs, and most people wouldn't even realize it. You probably didn't even know it. So don't count out your phone. It could be your best friend. It's necessary. And there's a lot of tools and apps that can help you, you know, up your videography game or your design game or your photography game or whatever you're into. Maybe I'll make a video on that in the future, but use your phone. It's a good tool. Next. All right, so next is two lenses that I have. And actually I have 3 or 4 lenses. One of them you're being shot on now. I have this one and I have this one. I have the 18 to 55, which is also what you're being shot on now. I have 2 of these because they came with the cameras. And then I also had the 55 to 250, which came with my first camera as well, which is a longer range one, which is really nice for a few kinds of shots. It has a really good deep zoom, which is nice when you're far away from the subject. This one and the one that you're being shot on now is a pretty decent headshot, you know, talking head type of thing. But what I really want to get is a wide angle lens. And so I'm in the market for one of those right now. If you have any suggestions, let me know because I need one of those. But for now, these work. Next. You gotta have a way to hold that camera in place. And you're sitting on a big tall tripod here that I'll show you at the end of this video. But these are wonderful. And I know you're gonna be like, oh man, that's stereotypical vlogger. And I know, the Gorilla Pods that do the whole bendy thing, stereotypical vlogger. I know, when you see someone with this, you know they're vlogging. That isn't a bad thing though. Don't take that as a bad thing. But what it is good for is you can kind of put it over top of like a fence, or you can mount it onto like a bar or like a wall or something like that. And it's really useful to just throw up a camera angle wherever you need it when you're out in the wild. So keep one of these with you. I probably use it more than I use my stand-up tripod. So yeah, good investment. Just do it. Don't worry about the stereotype. Next. All right, next we have the video GOMIC that I can't actually show you because it's on the camera now, but you're gonna see it in the overhead shot here. The video GOMIC is really nice because it's a lightweight mic, mounts to the top of your camera. It works wonderful. It has directional one way, so you don't pick up all of the background sound and everything on the sides. It's been a really nice mic. I wouldn't say the quality is perfect. It's nowhere near as good as my secondary mic that I'll show you next, but good mic for a good price. So thumbs up on that one. All right, next we have the Blue YETIMIC, which has been a wonderful mic for me that I've had for probably close to like a decade now. I think I bought this back in high school or like early college, I wanna say. And I've had it since, and it's been a wonderful mic. I still see a ton of people using it, and so it's a classic. The Blue YETIMIC, it's wonderful, absolutely great. It's a really nice standalone mic. It's good for doing podcasts or voiceovers, or even just like talking headshots when you can set up a mic that you don't need it right above the camera. So great mic as well. This gets a lot of use over here. Another item that helps with audio quality is a pop filter. That's what this is here. You've probably seen these, and most people don't know what they do unless you're in video or audio recording. Basically what it does is when you say things like p, and t, and your P's and your T's and your S's, it basically kind of drowns out that sound so you don't get a big spike in the audio, so people don't get a sharp sound in their ear when they're listening to your video. Now most people, they're like, you gotta have a really nice pair of headphones, you know, that block out all the sound outside and everything like that. And yeah, I agree, and I have some of those over here that I don't use much. They're my old pair of Beats, which, yeah, sure, they're fine. I mean, they're not studio quality, but they're good headphones. But don't work as well as, I just like these nice little Bluetooth buds. They just go right in, and you hardly even know they're there, and there's no weight, and they knock out the sound outside, and they're not as expensive as the AirPods if you lose them. I like these. These are called TRAYNA earpods. Wonderful little purchase. You need to have some sort of sound in your ear when you're editing, otherwise you may export a video that only has sound in one side. And if someone watches a video like that, ooh, it makes you go crazy. Ooh, it makes you go crazy. So don't do that to people. Now I have something like 3 or 4 different memory cards. I only have one of them in this little case here because the other one's in this camera, the other one's in my secondary camera, and then I have another one that I lost somewhere, and don't worry about that one. But I don't think it had anything important on it. But little pro tip here, use the camera clip, I don't know what this is called, the camera cap, the part that goes on the camera when you don't have a lens on it here, and then the part that goes on the back of the lens when it's not on the camera as well. These fit together wonderfully, and they make this nice little cup dish which fits your memory cards just perfectly. Little pro tip there, you'll want that one. That's a good one. Put that in your back pocket. Next, everybody needs a good external hard drive. That's what I got this one for. It's a 1 terabyte. So it's great, it's perfect for what I need. It hooks up into the Mac, no problems at all. I bought a secondary one to have a bunch of backups on, but turns out that it doesn't work as well with the Mac system, and so I need to download some program or something that I haven't done yet to make this one work, so I can have a backup of my backup. Pro tip, always have backups. Next. Everyone's gotta have batteries, and all batteries gotta be charged. So I got 2 of them, 1 for each of the camera. I got like 4 different batteries. Always have enough because no one wants to run out of battery while you're out in the field shooting. Next. These dongles. Dongles, man. Friggin' dongles. Oh. Don't get me started about these. Too many of these. I'm so mad that people keep removing. Okay, I say people, but what I really mean is Apple keeps removing ports, so you have to buy their stupid adapter cables, and I have almost gotten to the point where I'm about ready to I don't have an overhead shot of this one because it was used during the overhead shots to get good lighting, but you gotta have a good lighting rig, and the ring light, I know it's generally used for like beauty tutorials and conspiracy videos if you watch St. Jocelyn or or a whole bunch of different kind of videos people use these ring lights for, and it's nice because it gives you a really smooth lighting all around the face, and you don't have to have 10 different lights to do the same thing. Right now I'm lit with daylight, but when I'm using that, it's a nice light. So I need to get more lighting. That's another thing on my list, but I just want to show you guys the lighting that I have, because let me tell you, lighting can make a bad camera make it look good. Bad lighting can make a great camera look bad. You could have a $40,000 camera, and if your lighting is bad, it's gonna look bad. It doesn't matter how expensive your camera is if your lighting sucks. So invest in lighting, get good lighting if you're gonna make some videos, focus on lighting in your photography, and you're gonna have a lot better results. Next. I think that's all my gear, guys. I can't show you the tripod. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and flip over to a behind the scenes shot of the overhead rig that I was using to shoot those shots that you saw in the video here. The tripod that I have rigged up so it doesn't fall over. I also want to let you guys know I'm gonna be out in LA next weekend for Adobe Max, and next week as well. I'm gonna be out there with a buddy, Trent Peterson. We're gonna be making some various videos while we're out there. But if you guys are gonna be at Max, go ahead and let me know, leave a comment or send me a message or whatever. I'd love to meet up and you know, have a coffee or have a chat, or you know, just to like explore LA or make a video or something. Thanks for watching this video, and if you liked it, like it, subscribe, leave me a comment with some feedback. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.